Make it
Oh,
so
yeah.
we don't have to double echo it here. Recent. Okay. Right. So we can actually start. Why don't you be the new Amanda and to start
Yeah.
with who we are and what this is?
Oh, good afternoon, everyone, or whatever time you're coming in around the world. I'm Dominic, and this is Dr. Abbasi, and we're here for Essence of History today.
And as you know, we have a series about different subject. We have four different uh, group of podcasts. Essence of Life, where we talk about the actual and relevant life events. Essence of Medicine, where we talked about medical knowledge. And the essence of um, Science, where we talk about scientific matter. And essence of history is mostly about the history, and sometimes it's about the history of science and medicine and both. So this is mostly talking about the history of radiology.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a pretty big topic and has a lot of implications for the modern day.
Yeah. Well, what when you think of radiology, what do you think?
Okay, well, I'm biased because we get quite a bit of it, but I always think of, X-rays and stuff like that.
X-rays and stuff. What do you need to produce X-rays?
Some amount of radiation and
No. X-ray is radiation. But what do you need to produce X-rays?
I'm not so sure.
Electricity.
Oh yeah, I think that makes sense.
And electricity, for electricity, you need what? Electrons.
Mm,
What is electron?
just a little valence cell around an atom.
But historically, I mean, when did we discover that there's something there?
Oh gosh, if I had to hazard a guess, I would say maybe 1800s, 1900s.
Long before that.
Really?
A lot before that. Yeah,
We're better than I thought.
yeah. So, what is this?
Is that amber?
It's an ember.
Huh.
Yeah, what happened if you draw an ember on a fur coat or no, long time ago, long time ago,
Ah,
well, not amber, right?
yeah,
Amber has existed forever. What is amber?
just sap from trees and all that stuff.
And sometimes has even, like it embalms or encased other thing and so on. So people love that, like something that you can see another animal inside. They love to collect that. And what did they have on? Most of the time, animal fur.
Hmm.
And then the amber, they have it around their neck and it touches the animal fur.
Hmm.
Like you are in your basement, you're walking on carpet, all of a sudden you touch something. What happens? Zap. Okay. Electron means amber.
Hmm.
Old, Greeks
Really?
noticed that. But it took almost 2000 years before we discovered electron and lightning, which everybody knows what lightning is. You see it, have something in common. Who discovered that this zapping from amber or anything else, like, in the school, I'm sure you have done, especially with your hair, balloon your hair,
Yeah.
and who discovered that this and big lightning that explode trees are the same thing? Who do you think discovered that?
Well, I mean, the closest I get to anything with lightning is, Thomas Edison and some kite, but I'm
Oh,
sure it's way before that.
actually, it was our old boy Franklin, Benjamin Franklin.
Gotcha. Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah, lightning kite.
Don't
And
tell
so on.
Ross.
Yeah, and the thing is, because he discovered that, he was a celebrity,
Hmm.
and he put that celebrity to good use to get women in Paris. So wherever he went, he was a celebrity, and women would love to come to him. There's actually a good story that our, other, I would say, the founder of our country, John Adam,
Hmm.
went and visited him in Paris and came back and reported that instead of promoting United States, he was just having orgies.
He's promoting Ben Franklin.
No, but he was wrong, obviously. Ben Franklin did really got us a lot of loans and so on, but he was famous because he discovered it's the same phenomenon, okay? That when you rub static electricity and the lightning are more or less the same thing. As a matter of fact, if you do that, well, like rub something, when you bring that thing close to your finger, you see actually something jumping. Okay? So they discovered that, but they didn't really have a good use for it. What do you think they used it for first? Who is this gentleman? Almost he looked like a villain, right? He looked like a Sherlock.
Yeah. He looks like he's a James Bond villain to me.
Yeah, James Bond villain. Who do you think this is?
I have no idea.
I'm going to mesmerize you.
Okay.
Oh, let this find. Maybe some people don't know what that word mesmerizing means. What does it mean, mesmerizing?
Is that like hypnotizing something or
something similar? Put you in shock and awe, do something to you. This is Mr. Mesmer. That's who it is. So,
okay, so I'm assuming he's going to use this newfound electricity to impress all of his party guests in this
yes,
okay.
And get woman. he probably had relationship to 1/3, if not half, of the aristocratic woman in Paris.
Look, I'm telling you, the biological imperative, progress is science.
No, but and what he did, he put people around the table, they touched each other or a metal object, and then he connected that metal object to electricity. And then they felt this thing and they were all in shock. And what, when I touch you, all of a sudden this tingling sensation and so on, that he could change the voltage and make that sensation go up and down and control that. And then they thought he has overnatural abilities. So woman fell for him. And here you see that there's all these people around the table. But obviously, and here you see even more of the same.
He knew what he wanted.
See what's science? Who says science cannot get you woman? I just gave you a few examples. And you just have to get the women who are excited about science.
Yeah.
But he needed a battery or need a source of electricity, right? It wasn't like you have electricity from the wall and so on.
Yeah.
How did they get electricity?
Well, I'm assuming there's not somebody downstairs with amber just rubbing wool all the time. So.
Actually, the very first one, it was actually something, not amber, but something similar, coated. And somebody would turn it. On one side would be like a wool. On the other side would be a metal that would collect that electricity. It's a very strange apparatus. You can actually make it at your home.
Is that kind of like how we, eventually did the water mills and stuff like that?
No. See, imagine a cylinder. On the bottom of the cylinder, there is a fur coat.
Okay.
On the top, there is a sheet of metal. So when you do that, electricities get absorbed in this cylinder and then collected in the top from the metal. But that's require really somebody down turning the wheel. That's too much, right?
Yeah.
So what's a better way of doing that? And somebody got really famous because of that.
This is a Nikolai or anything like that, is it?
Oh, yeah, they're all Nikolai. So this guy. No, actually, no. This is a different person. This is
what's he doing to that frog?
yeah. Well, no. This is the first time they put it to scientific use. Okay, Mesmer tried to get woman, but Galvani, another Italian, connected that, literally turning that thing I just talked to you about, creating some static electricity, and then connecting to the muscle of a dead frog. That the dead frog muscle is bringing life back to. This is the time that the book Frankenstein was written.
That makes sense.
Because they thought they can actually revive dead tissue with this, whereas it was just no
intelligent thought.
Yeah, but so Galvani, where the word galvanization come from, is the person who did that first. But then they needed a better source of electricity to do more experiment with it. And hence, we come to this good guy. You want to guess who that is?
Not even. I have no idea.
This is so-called Mr. Volta,
Oh.
Signor Volta, probably Giovanni or something, Volta, where he put plates of copper and zinc with a cloth between and put some acid, probably just vinegar or something,
Okay.
and produces and repeating that plates back and forth until he had this first usable, reliable battery.
How
And
big is this battery?
Depending on how many plates, what is the number of the plates says what voltage Mr. Volta has.
That makes sense. Okay.
The size of the plate tells you what's the current or ampere. Ampere is actually another person. I don't have his picture, but he has as well this crazy hair. This Volta was Italian. No, actually, Volta was not Italian. Why Volta was not Italian? Okay, that's another.
Well, I mean, I kind of like this trend.
Ampere was French, obviously, right? Ampere.
Volta Spanish?
No. At the time, Mr. Volta or Signor Volta discovered that there was no Italy. There were these small little city-state like Republic of Venice and so on. They actually very, very late, probably 150 years ago, they come all together, became the Republic of Italy. Okay, first the Kingdom of Italy. You see, everything goes together. So they were like lots of big city-states like Venice, Florence, and so on and so forth. But then either way, this is a side thing. Okay.
Well, I like the merchant states; they're fun.
Yeah, but then depending on the size, how big these plates were, you had more current, more ampere. Depending on how many you would stack them, you would have more voltage or push of the electrons voltage. So they could reliably produce now batteries. Okay, so what did they do with that batteries? And then obviously later on, they noticed that with the Faraday's law, that literally I do this. Faraday's law, meaning one is motion, one is electricity, one is magnetism.
Yeah, three-dimensional.
So if you move a wire in a magnetic field, you produce electricity. How crazy was that?
I'm sure that got some guy a lot of girls.
Yeah, unfortunately, not this one. No, I revised that. Two people were working on that day and night. One was Edison producing DC current. The other one, his best girlfriend was his pigeon. You know who that was?
Is that Nikolai?
That's Nikolai Tesla. That are Nikolai Tesla, who actually died very poor in a hotel room, and his best friend was his pigeon.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
It's sad. It's sad. It's just so sad. Well, okay. So they noticed that, okay, instead of just one wire, let's coil the wire. Instead of just hand turning with the hand, let's make the windmill or water or steam engine turn that wire in a pool of magnets. Okay. And then they had actually this small little generator. And then the question was, how do we transfer this electricity? Edison was a son of a bastard. And he actually, even though we know now for sure, no question, even we knew then, AC is better. Edison wanted to promote his own DC. And the problem with DC is it's a really big deal. It was a big deal then, not that a big deal now, to change the voltage, go up and down. And there's a simple rule. Amount of the electricity you lose has a lot to do with what voltage you are transferring the electricity. Right. If you transfer electricity at lower voltage, you lose a lot of electricity. If you transfer electricity at very, very high voltage, you lose very little electricity.
Is that because with the speed that it transfers over, there's more time to bleed out at lower voltage? Or what is
at the lower voltage, more electron physically have to pass through. At the lower voltage, one electron does the job of a million electrode.
Okay.
It's just about push. Electricity about electron pushing each other.
Mm.
Okay? Imagine if you have a high voltage, I'm punching you harder.
Yeah.
If higher amperage or current, meaning that 100 people are punching you lightly.
Mm. Mm.
Having 100 people here is harder than having one person punching you hard. Same energy,
Yeah.
but those 100 people, just to come through the door, they're going to lose more
Gotcha.
energy. Okay?
Okay.
So the thing with the producing electricity is that you need a moving wire in a magnetic field, or you need a static wire, but the magnetic field changes.
Mm.
Either way, when there is a fluctuation in magnetic field, meaning a wire get closer and farther from the magnet, or the magnetic field goes up and down, that inducts electricity in the next wire.
Mm.
And the AC alternating current, it goes up and down. What does that mean? It produces a magnetic field that goes up and down.
Mm.
Then you just have to have another wire next to it.
Nice and stable.
Now, if you have one wire here, two wire here, then you double the voltage. If you have one wire here, 1,000 wire here, the voltage become 1,000 times more.
Mm. So
you are going up and up with it. So, and other way, on the other side, when you bring that 200,000, that electricity, those high electricity power lines,
yeah.
What do you think what their voltage is?
Oh God,
500,000 volt. Okay, that's why they are so high, because if there was any lower, it would shunt to the earth.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
and they don't look that big, but have you seen those that way they come and they drop, and then there are those discs and so on?
Mm. Yeah.
Those just the disc part, from that disc, the wire to the where it's connected, that's probably 2 or 3 people stack on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And those discs actually make sure that if the water comes, there's not a continuous rain water connecting the metal to the wire. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but on the other side, once they are into your town, you put 5 wire here and 1 wire here, then you have to step down and so on and so forth. So they had all that thing. And the person who figured it out was Nikola Tesla. That literally you can go up and down as you wish. Whereas with the DC, it's almost impossible. By DC, by the time you have it from the generator to your home, if it's 3 streets away, you have lost 1/3 of the electricity. But with AC, you can go really up, transfer it hundreds of miles, and lose less than 2% or 1% of the electricity.
Yeah.
So it was better. And he sold it to Westinghouse. And Westinghouse screwed him by not giving him
any part.
well, very little. And Edison, which knew that engineering part is solid, knew he's wrong. He went and with AC killed dogs. So discredit AC. Literally on the street, you put a dog in and connect it to AC. Look, people, AC kills people. DC kills people too. But he didn't do that. Okay, so now we have stable electricity. Now people, especially scientists, can use electricity. At the same time, we have this nice gentleman. I wish I had a beard like that. Look at that beard.
It's actually, yeah, wow, it's so well groomed.
Yeah, well groomed. And that's his. Now, what you need to know then and even now, most of the people who do really things that matter in their kitchen or in the garage these days, then they didn't have garage, but they did in their kitchen or basement. That's his actual house. Do you know who he is and what this picture is?
No, but I've seen some coils there.
No, this is so-called Henry Becquerel, another French guy. He discovered when he put uranium on photographic picture, even though they are far away from each other, when you develop those pictures, there is an imprint of like uranium ore on the picture.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So, and he was thinking something must have passed from that ore to the photographic picture to darken it. And the photographic picture, they were then literally silver, some combination of silver, oxide, silver nitrate, or something like that, that when light hits it, the silver dissociates itself from the solution to actual silver particle, so it darkens it on a glass. And then, depending on how much it darkens it, then you have an actual photograph. That's how photography was discovered. But he had this, and accidentally, he had as well uranium ore there. And then when they developed the picture, say, hey, look at that. All my picture had my face, but as well something that is exactly fits that uranium ore. What's going on? And that is what the history of science is, that you see something like what we do. We see something is working or not working in our OR. We just don't take it for granted. We go and background, we gather the data. How can we reproduce that? And then what's the background? Why is it behaving that way? So we called it radioactivity. So now we have electricity, we have radioactivity.
I see, judging from that photo, this has got to be what, like 1850s?
Yeah, about toward end of 1880s, 1890s.
Okay.
So this knowledge is not that old.
Yeah, I mean, if this is the onus, where we begin, and this is the 1890s or something, that gives us what, 130 years? That's it.
So around the same time, a bookbinder who had no scientific background worked his way up in England, in London, experimented with magnets and electricity. He noticed that they are related, but there are lines that when you put a magnet and just everybody has done that, some iron particle, that you have these lines and so on. And he gathered all his information and published that. You know who that was?
I don't.
Yeah.
This guy's an enigma to me.
Yeah.
Unless his name is Etch or Sketch or something.
I think 2 seconds ago, it comes back to that. Based on this, his information and everything that was available, another nerdy Scottish guy, Jesus, I'm getting old. My memory is fading. He put all of that together and gave us the law of electricity in around 1899. Jesus, my memory is fading. I need to just look that up now.
You got to nail it in.
The electricity formula scientist. I just a moment that
when you see it, you're going to go, oh.
Faraday was the one I talked about the induction and so on, and
Mr. Cage.
Yeah.
Mr. Law.
No, it's if I put here Scottish, it will come back who that is. Maxwell, James Clerk Maxwell, another guy with a huge
always looking wild, yeah.
Yeah. So, but then, based on all this information, we still, until Maxwell, we didn't know the light that you see, electricity, magnetism, and radioactivity are the same thing. But he discovered these are different, practically variation of the same thing. And then imagine now we have Becquerel that as well has that something without any external thing gives you
this imprint of sorts.
Imprint of some sort. At that time, he was interested actually in phosphorescence. Do you know what phosphorescence is?
Like different types of dyes or whatnot, or like the
sort
of fish?
No. Fish. Phosphorescence is actually, the word phosphor is in phosphorescence, right? Because they discovered if you put phosphor, certain variation of phosphor in light, then you bring it to your basement, it still glows. And that's why he had the photographic plates. He was doing that and then bring it in and photographing it and finding out, how long does it need to be outside? How long will it be phosphorescence and so on and so forth. And when I was young, still we had these watches that phosphorescence in the dial and so on, that in the dark you could still see what time it is. You don't need it these days, okay? Okay. And so But then he noted that the uranium does not need to be under sun to have the same effect. So he discovered uranium gives this thing that darkens the photographic plates, but it doesn't need to be under sun to do that. So it has a natural tendency to that.
No, I will say, from a modern standpoint, it does sound wild to just have uranium in your kitchen, but I imagine he was using it for some of these
It
studies.
gets better.
Oh, good.
It gets better. You think uranium is bad? So let's go further.
Mm.
So let's make a quick stop here. This another wild beard, another experiment in the kitchen. This is so-called Wilhelm Röntgen.
Oh,
What do you know about Wilhelm Röntgen?
nothing except for that he's probably German.
Yeah, he's German. That's his actual house. And that house, you see that car? That's a modern car. That house still exists. You see the corner of the car down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bottom left.
Yeah. But he noticed that, okay, now we start understanding, we have electricity. We understand that another thing that Faraday did is that in a vacuum tube, make a glass tube, put the positive and negative, and then when you reduce the pressure,
The pressure, yeah.
and then all of a sudden you see a glow of some sort going from the negative to positive. By then, actually, they didn't know positive and negative. They thought the electricity flows from positive to negative, but in actuality, the electron goes from negative to positive. Doesn't matter. But he saw that something is glowing. Now, he started, experimenting with this vacuum tube from Faraday. And guess what? He had the photographic plates on the other side of his kitchen or basement, wherever. And he noticed when he uses that photographic plates, they are activated. So something, when he does this experiment, send electron from one plate to another in a vacuum tube, when this electron hit the other one, something is produced there that literally darkens the photographic plates. That's X-ray.
Yeah.
And he noticed if you put it at an angle, like imagine like you produce the negative is here, positive is here. When the electron hit this, that you can focus or you can send the X-rays like a mirror to the direction you want. And then he noticed that if you make electricity voltage higher or these things hotter, you can produce more of this magical X-ray. Because we didn't know what it is. X-ray.
Plate-folded ray.
Yeah, ray-solder rays. And then the name stuck. In Germany, still they call it Röntgen. They don't call it X-ray. We call it Röntgenstrahlen, meaning Röntgen rays.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. So where are we now? Well, now we have electricity, we have magnetism, we have vacuum tube, we have batteries, we have generators, we have radioactivity. And then he shows up and he shows that, you can actually use it to do this. This is the vacuum tube that produced the electricity, and this is his finger.
Oh, is that a ring?
Yeah. He showed that you can actually go through live tissue and see the structure inside. What year do you think it was? This was around the turn of the century. Okay. But then it got refined and refined. You have no idea how much life that justice saved in the First World War. Where you have these projectiles and they hit you and then you don't know where they are. You go digging, literally digging. All of a sudden you could see where the projectile is. You could go directly there. You didn't have to kill 5 to save 1.
Yeah, this is actually probably my maybe my only benchmark on any knowledge of X-rays is playing around with it in World War I.
And who made it perfect was actually a Polish girl who went to Paris, married a Frenchman and experimented with both, with radioactivity and with X-rays. I bet you know who that is.
Yeah, this one I know.
Yeah.
Miss Curie.
Yeah, Madame Curie, Mary Curie. So this is him.
Yeah.
This is her. In
No
not
beard
surprisingly,
though. What's going on?
but Pierre had beard for both of them.
Okay, good.
Very tragic story. Um, I mean, Pierre was way in front of his time. Like he really saw her as his equal, which was at that time.
Yeah.
Girls in Poland weren't even allowed to go to universities.
Yeah, like not 1910 or whatever where we're at with World War One.
So, and actually, Marie Curie created a mobile X-ray station. Would go in the First World War from the in the front, in the where the war was, and help the doctors helping soldiers right there.
Bold.
Yeah, and now we are coming toward and this is another thing that's their house actually, Mary, and this is her in the university. But one of the things you said, you remember having just uranium or uranium in your kitchen and so on your house. What do you think what Marie Curie did? What is she famous for?
Well, other than some X-rays, I know she died young, but is that
No, yeah, died that young for that time. 60 something. She died at 60 something, and she died on the probably some anaplastic anemia. We didn't know exactly at that time. They didn't know what it was, but she wasn't producing enough blood cells.
Oh,
because she got a lot of radiation.
Yeah.
Radiation. Now, she, after knowing that uranium has this X-rays or radioactivity or this natural radiation, he noticed something when they produce uranium from something they used to call uranium ore. What's left over is called pitch blende.
Okay.
It's a tar-like, dirty-looking thing and so on. And she noticed that this pitch blende has actually sometimes more radiation than uranium itself. And she was trying to find out what it is. And that's what she did. She got a lots of uranium, uranium byproduct, pitch blende, and used that in her own basement with acid, without ventilation and so on, refine that, and notice that every time they do that, it becomes more and more radioactive if they separate certain thing from it. It was even such that at certain level, it naturally has a beautiful bluish color. And she and Pierre really actually enjoyed that bluish shade. That blue color. They would sit there and romantically just enjoy that blue color in dark.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man. Like saying, I just love my chandelier made of knives. Just
sitting on the,
yeah.
and then moving it around.
Yeah. What if we swing it from I don't know, a thread instead of a chain?
Good analogy.
Oh gosh.
But then, so she discovered, so first polonium and then another, and then later on radium. She's famous to be the first woman to get a Nobel Prize. She's as well famous to be the first person getting 2 Nobel Prize in two different fields.
Oh, I didn't know too.
Yeah, she was a force of nature to be reckoned with her background and so on, but she was dedicated. You think I work hard? She worked hard.
I mean, maybe having some of that just blue glow. I don't know. It's motivating.
So there are really nice stories about her, how dedicated she was to what she was doing. That was the purpose of her life, and she delivered. She delivered, and she passed the knowledge and so on. That probably half of the people who made our society possible with technology are people who were trained by her
Hmm.
and then took the knowledge of this knowledge of like we do this for cancer sometimes what we do is like we make this small radioactive stuff like a small pellet we put it next to the tumor so it can kill the
Yeah.
tumor
Yeah.
okay her
Oh.
she did that yeah
Hmm.
exactly
Well, I had the question maybe the the intelligence are keeping all the stuff around if you know you're using it to kill cancer too. I don't know.
yeah
But
so and you see that this dedication so this is the origin of radiology that people that discovered that amber and the lightning are the same thing. People who discovered electricity and magnetism are the same thing. People discovered radioactivity is the same thing. People who discovered and formalized it, that light that you see, radiation, X-ray, lightning, magnetism, they're all different variation of the same thing. And now, all of a sudden, with all of that, you can literally not only do this, but as well, you can do it in a variation, take it to the next step, and look inside. Once the foundation is there, the rest goes so fast. The only reason it took about 70 years, or no, yeah, about 70 years from this picture to CAT scan is because our computers, we couldn't process fast enough data. Everything else was ready. Mathematics of it was ready. But the CAT scan is a story for a different time. So, what would you know? What would you like to know more about electricity, magnetism, or radiation, X-rays, and so on? But that you see that the picture on the right is much more crisp, right? The difference is that just the amount of the energy of the radiation. That if you have higher energy, actually they pass easier through. It's no different than if you have a slow bullet, it's more likely stick in you. But if you have a fast bullet, the bullet will pass through you without absorbing or giving most of its energy to your body. So same thing. So here, as you see, that on the left side, Mr. Röntgen, Herr Röntgen, did not have a very high energy X-ray. Whereas on the right side, you see that it's very crisp. That soft tissue is all invisible.
Yeah,
okay?
Those Rontgen rays are flying right through.
Yeah, the mathematics of that was done already. So the only reason it took 6 or 7 decades before we had CAT scan is because we couldn't calculate fast enough the data.
Yeah.
So, and little boys and girls, now we are in 1920s, and we are going to get some sleep for 50 years before. But in this time, actually, our X-ray technology tremendously improved. Like we found even ways that we send the X-ray. Imagine, put your hand between my hand. Now put it this way. Okay. Now, if I get an X-ray, this is the source of the X-ray. My hand is, let me just unshare this so people can see us a little better. Now, here.
There we go.
My hand up here is the source of X-ray. My other hand is the receiver. If I send X-rays, I just get the accumulative information of all your fingers, right? But imagine now, I want to get a picture of this finger. Just this finger, and I cannot rotate you around for whatever reason. How would I do that? So imagine now X-ray and finger. And now when I'm getting the X-ray, I move them. By doing that, picture from this one will spread out, picture from these two will spread out, but picture of this will stay in the same place. So I concentrate the X-ray here, so-called. With the parallax, you can concentrate and get crisper picture of one area in the depth, and all the others, they get more washed out,
Yeah.
and so on. So we did huge advances in the how we use the X-ray to get better picture, better quality picture, and then we invented the contrast. What are most of contrast?
Oh my God.
Something that absorbs
Yeah.
radiation.
Mhm.
To absorb the radiation, they experimented. They found out there are tons of things absorb radiation, but few of them are that you can put in people. So what is the most of the radiation material that we use these days?
I don't know, iodine based or something like that.
Iodine. Iodine is a very good, it's a big molecule. Our body is more or less harmless to our body.
Hmm.
And you send it in different variation in our body, in our orifices, or even through our arteries,
Mhm.
and it can absorb radiation. And what you see on the other side is actually, you see, if you look at the X-rays here and so on, this is the negative. The actual picture is that X-ray sticks to the bone. So on the other side, it doesn't activate the thing.
Yes.
But then we always use the negative of that because even then they use negative and positive.
Mhm.
So this is the positive of the actual picture is negative. This is the positive of it.
Mm.
Okay. And then we start doing something as well, almost crazy. I still remember it being done when I was in my med school.
Oh.
So we have iodine for positive contrast. What can we use for negative contrast?
Oh, I don't know.
Air.
Oh.
We used to inject air inside
Uh.
of the brain, inside of the spinal canal, like 30, 50 cc, 100 cc. And then we see the contour better by air not absorbing any radiation.
Mm.
The only reason we don't do that today because we have better things. Okay?
Good.
Yeah, that was a routine. It's called pneumogram, encephalopneumogram, like where we put air inside of the brain chamber so we could see the contour of the chambers of the brain in a regular X-ray a lot. And so, and then all of a sudden, then when the computer technology improved, we didn't need to do any of that. We could actually use the X-ray to get true internal volumetric data of each particle, part of the body, and so on. X-ray by themselves, they are not a big player anymore. CT, MRI are much bigger player.
Yeah, they paved the way, but they're moving aside.
But we still get them. Now, what are the things that these days we in our spine clinic we get X-rays? What are they?
A lot of times, like scoliosis, or if we want to see if somebody has a
Bigger
listhesis.
picture of a scoliosis, and it's still X-rays. They have higher resolution than CAT scan. As well, when we want to see dynamic picture, like moving forward and backward.
Yeah, it's much easier to take
extension.
4 X-rays by having somebody bend over and
In the CAT scan, yes, they are. Okay, well, I think we sort of are wrapping it up now. Any additional comment you want to add?
No, I kind of like that though, because I think a large part of if people are like me, then the first thing they might know about X-rays is our Nobel Prize winner, and none of the everything in the centuries of history that lead up to it. So.
Yeah, small advances that they come together, and then a person who's not waiting to go home.
Yeah.
When he goes or she goes home, in this case, she goes home and continues.
Yeah. In fact, probably many days she was at home doing everything,
Yeah, and she's doing all the stuff at home, and then when the kids are sleeping, going back downstairs, enjoying the glow of the radioactivity and working. This was a manual work for Marie Curie. Okay, but you need those kind of people to move society forward. So, if you are a nerd, be proud of it. We are going to wrap it up. I'm Dr. Abbasi for Essence.
Dominic, we'll catch you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
I do love just the history.